Space Force is the newest Netflix original show. It premiered yesterday. There's 10 episodes. They're all about 30 minutes long. Some are a bit longer, some are a bit shorter. And it stars Steve Carrell as Michael Scott, who can swear. That is exactly who he plays. And, well, for the show, talk about a disappointment. Space Force was a show I was excited for. Somewhat. Like, I wasn't overly excited for it like I was for Ozark Season 3. But I was excited for it because I wanted to see Steve Carell do some comedy stuff that looked quite like The Office. Now, I'm watching The Office right now. I'm on Season 7. I started it December of 2017. And I love Seasons 2 to 4. That is just prime comedy gold. I love that. But I'm making my way through. Michael Scott's like the best comedy TV character ever. But still, I was excited because I wanted to see Steve Carell do some funny stuff, and it was rated TV, mature, whatever, MA. So I was like, oh, I wonder what they do. And they really only use that for swearing. There's a few sexual things, but like, it's swearing. And Steve Carell is the best part of the show. Him and John Malkovich, who's also in it, are really, really funny in some episodes. Steve Carell is pretty funny just because it's Steve Carell and his line delivery is really good. John Malkovich was also really good here. Well, he was good here. Nobody was really good because the show wasn't really good. The show was actually pretty bad. I'm not lying. This was disappointing because, as I said, I really wanted to see it. I just really want to see a nice Netflix comedy show that's 10 episodes long. It's not hard to get through, and at times this thing is really hard to get through because it's just so uninteresting. Surprisingly, there are so many times in the show where I was actually bored. Like, I was just like, hey, let's go on to the next scene. Episode 2 mainly focuses on these people. They're just talking to this ape or monkey or whatever, and it is so terribly CGI'd in there, and the jokes, most of them aren't funny, and that's coming from Steve Carell, who's a very funny guy. He's hilarious. Just so many of the jokes feel forced, and the writing of the show is awful. I'd say most of the jokes don't land here. Steve Carell, as I said, is funny in the show. He's the best part about it. He has some good moments, but they're the Steve Carell moments. You hear him talking kind of in his Steve Carell, Michael Scott voice.
I declare bankruptcy!
Where he kind of raises his voice and talks a bit different. That happens, and when that was happening, I like that. The story, not interesting. Which sounds weird. It should be interesting. It's about, well, people at Space Force, whatever. But then they also, in the later episodes, try to throw in family drama with Lisa Kudrow, Phoebe from Friends, who is Steve Carell's wife, and then his daughter, his daughter's actually pretty good in the show too. But they try to throw in some family drama here, and it just comes off as super forced. As I said before, the show is surprisingly unfunny. Steve Carell is funny at times, and I don't blame him for anything here. He really tried hard here, and I just love seeing him in a comedy show, and I liked hearing Michael Scott, who could swear. That was funny. He had some good jokes. And John Malkovich was good. His daughter, Diana Silvers, I think that's who she is. She's pretty good here. But again, these actors are trying really hard with material that is really bad. The camera work is also, besides the first episode where there's these unnecessary close-ups with weird lenses so their faces look weird, that don't work. The camera work is pretty smooth, and I like that. I'm really struggling to find positives. As I said, the acting, it's not necessarily bad. It's not revolting or anything like some of these other Netflix productions. But this is one of the worst things I've seen from Netflix so far, and it's so weird because this is kind of a disappointing year for Netflix so far. Because last year, I know it was later in the year, we got The Irishman, Marriage Story, El Camino, all those. And although the only great thing we've had from Netflix is Ozark Season 3, we've just kind of had some good to meh things. I really wanted this show to be at least pretty good, entertaining and funny, and sure, it's entertaining. It's not hard to watch. There's just so many times where I'm just like, okay, go on to the next scene. This isn't funny. Stop using this joke. And this show was disappointing. I don't recommend it at all. Just go rewatch seasons 2 to 4 of The Office. That's my suggestion. Yeah, I didn't have a good time watching a lot of the episodes. It kind of gets better in the later episodes, and TV shows are harder to rate, like the seasons, because some episodes are pretty bad, like some of the earlier episodes, but then the later episodes, I'm not saying they were good, they were just fine. But overall, I don't recommend this show at all. I'm gonna give Space Force a C minus. I've given out so many C minuses this year for The Platform, The Wrong Missy, this, and Capone. I mean, that's like the most popular grade I think right now, but I hope Netflix starts making some better stuff, or at least stuff that's along the lines or up to the same level as Ozark season 3. Because that's my recommendation for Netflix. Go watch Ozark, and I know it's kind of random. Thank you all for watching. If you watched Space Force, and I know a lot of people didn't, tell me what you thought of it in the comments down below, and I will see you guys next time. Over and out.